Welcome to our video on instructional materials for the mathematics of ranking. Have you ever wondered how sports teams or top movies get ranked? Like, how does the NCAA rank its top college basketball teams? Or how do websites rank movies to create their top 100 list? In this module, students will explore this and other interesting ideas. This video provides a walkthrough of our materials specifically on an introduction to Coley's method. The content objective for this lesson is that students will be able to apply Coley's method to rank groupings. Prerequisite concepts that are required for students to have mastery of before engaging with this material are matrix multiplication and solving equations using matrices. These topics are covered in earlier lessons in the module on the mathematics of ranking. In total, this lesson is designed to take approximately 85 class minutes, including warm-up and closure, and it is designed to cover the standards listed here. If the estimate is longer than you are able to devote in class, feel free to select portions for students to complete outside of class. Feel free to select portions of the guided notes to serve as out-of-class activities. Any problem set contained within the guided notes could be given as homework assignments. As a summative assessment on the material covered in this module, you could choose to give students a standard test or quiz on the skills that have been learned. To begin, we'll provide a brief overview of the lesson. The lesson begins with a brief video and subsequent discussion on what it means to rank things. This serves as the warm-up to the lesson. The next segment of the lesson is a guided discussion on an introduction to Coley's method. The next segment is focused on a 30-minute student activity on playing rock, paper, scissors. Students would enter their statistics into the software program of a teacher's choosing. The lesson concludes with an exit ticket for students to turn in. This video will focus specifically on the second segment of the lesson in which students engage in discussion using guided notes. Coley's method of ranking began as a slight modification to the general ranking based on win percentage. This method has its advantages because it does not rank based on just win percentage. Therefore, teams cannot build their schedules to play easy-to-beat teams and rack up their win percentage to a higher rank. The scheme adjusts for strength of schedule in a way that is free of bias toward conference, tradition, or region. Coley's method also considers the win-loss record and the total number of games, but uses this information differently. The first step is to construct an n by n matrix C, which we call Coley's matrix, and an n by 1 vector B. The next is to solve the linear system of equations CR equals B to obtain Coley's ratings R. Finally, we use the ratings vector to determine the rankings. Higher values of R means higher ranking. We begin with the following definitions of symbols as we work to apply Coley's method. N, number of teams. W sub I, number of wins for team I. L sub I, number of losses for team I. T sub I, number of games for team I. R sub I, Coley rating. N sub ij, number of times team I played team J. Consider an example involving college football records as shown here. Use the definitions of each matrix on the previous slide to determine our matrices C and B. Press pause on this video as you work. The next slide reveals the answers. And here are our matrices C and B. Note that the entries in the main diagonal of matrix C are all 6, since each team plays 4 games, and the main diagonal entries are defined as the number of games played plus 2. We note that all of the other entries are -1 because each team plays every other team exactly once. In vector B, let's look at the first entry. Duke wins 0 games and loses 4. So, B sub 1 equals 1 plus 0 minus 4 divided by 2, which equals -1. Check your results against these to ensure that they match before we proceed. The lesson materials include 3 approaches to solving the matrix equation CR equals B with step-by-step documentation of work. You can use an Excel sheet, Gaussian elimination, or the TI-84 calculator. No matter the approach you use, the results we obtain are shown here. These results show that Miami has the highest ranking, VT is the second highest, UNC is the third, UVA is the fourth, and Duke is the fifth. The lesson materials include several more examples and a problem set for students to work on, along with full solutions for teachers. We hope you will find these materials useful for your classroom.